Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, I recently bought 51% of a vampire hunting company. I'm the main stakeholder. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at The Hobbit, there and back again, from Office Dog. The Hobbit, there and back again from Office Dog, is a roll and write adventure where essentially you are playing through the story of The Hobbit. You have little books that essentially each chapter is a chapter from the book or an episode from the book, and you are writing with dry erase markers in order to do the right part of this roll and write adventure. Now, what's going to happen is each round, a player will roll dice. There's 5 dice you roll. First player will take 1 dice. The other players will each take a dice. If there's any dice left over, the first player will take those dice as well. But the dice have different sides to them. Some of them are shapes of pathways, and essentially, if you choose one of these pathways, you can draw a pathway on your player board in one of the squares on there. And again, you may intersect something which gives you an ability or gives you something that you can use. There are bread tokens, there are sword tokens, and you can actually roll the bread icons or the sword icons in order to get those tokens that you can then use. You can also roll the witch's hat. And the witch's hat may give you special abilities on your board as well that you can tick off and then gain those abilities. Now, as I say, each of the different stories have kind of different conditions in them. In the very first one, you've got all the dwarves coming to Frodo's house. Bilbo's house. And what you're doing is you're using the pathways to draw them to get them there. You're also trying to get Gandalf there as well as Thorin. You're trying to get them to his house. When you get them there, you want to feed them, so you want to have enough bread. So you can actually score for getting them there, but then you can also score for having enough bread to feed each dwarf. Now, as you're going through each chapter, each part of the book here, you are ticking off stuff on the other side of the book, and you are gaining victory points. Now, at the end of the game, once the adventure is completed, you go ahead, you add up all of the victory points that everybody has. Whoever has the most victory points wins. The Hobbit, there and back again.
We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so full disclosure, I'm not a huge fan of roll and write games. They're okay, they're just really not my favorite kind of game to play. And yet, I was kind of intrigued with this. First of all, I am a Lord of the Rings fan, and I remember as a kid watching The Hobbit and really enjoying that cartoon. Book I read much later, which I really enjoyed. So I was kind of drawn to this one because of the theme. And I got to tell you, the book here is just beautiful. I love the artwork, and I love how each of the scenarios kind of is reflective of that story and how it comes right out there. And it's kind of reminiscent of that. It's kind of interesting too, of course, the rolling, you're picking the pathways, and then you can draw that on the board, that pathway on the board, and then all the other goodies, the sword, the bread, the witch's hat, they all let you do something fun and interesting. And throughout this game, you can always do something fun and interesting, so I really appreciated that. Now, I'll tell you right now, I enjoyed this game. It was fun. I frankly liked it better than I thought I would. At the same time, I'm still not a huge roll and write fan, and I may end up donating this one or giving it to a friend because I just don't know that I'm going to come back to it. But again, that's just me and my prejudice against this type of game. I think if you like roll and writes, you are really going to enjoy this one. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. I think there's a lot of meat here. I think there's a lot of good gameplay. And again, even I, who doesn't really enjoy this type of game, I shouldn't say I don't enjoy it, but for me, where roll and write is not my favorite, I still had a lot of fun with this game, and I still think it's a very good game for what it is. So, with all of my prejudices out there laid bare, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give The Hobbit There and Back Again a 6 on the Cody scale. I liked it, better than average game, I think, but it's not something that overly thrilled me. Again, I think if you like roll and write games, I think you'll get a kick out of this one. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we'd ask you to please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our various social media. And we would ask you please to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you do like what you see here, I would ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, military history, books on history, fun things like that. I even post some of my lectures up there. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to that channel as well. And of course, if you do like what you see here, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. What do the movies Titanic and The Sixth Sense have in common? I see dead people. Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. God knows that I love to fight. Oh, hang on, guys, hang on a second.
Yeah. We must kill the witch before the witch kills us.
Oh,